here. Time to get down to work. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Hey, well, welcome. Hey, it's Tuesday. We're excited. I am wondering, just because I know you guys, I want to see how many cups that you have within arm's reach that have liquid in them. How many cups did you bring to the team call? Who has the most cups? I am wondering. I have 2. Jimmy, I think, wins. Look, she's got a few. I just happened to look here and I'm like, 2. I think I'm going to lose. Where's Sherry? Sherry's got to have more than just 1. I know she has more than just 1. She just has her camera off right now. That's fantastic. Sherry, how many cups do you have? She has, see, I have 2 as well. You're muted, so like you're lovely, but we can't hear you. Jimmy,
like they're both empty.
Oh,
I need refills.
You do? What? Where is that? Garcon? Oh, it was Carrie that was with me in Moose Jaw, you guys. It was so funny. We were sitting in Brown Social House for lunch before we got our thing started for leaders or for convention. And I was just telling a story, and you guys know I talk with my hands. Even outside the frame, I talk with my hands. And I did this, like, whatever. And our waitress was watching, and Carrie saw it all unfold. She's like, oh, and she's like, did you need it? I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm just talking with my hands. It's nice to see you. Thank you. You're kind. That's great. And then I tipped her extra because I felt awful because I didn't want her to think that I was snapping at her. Okay, guys, we have a wonderfully packed team call tonight. Thank goodness we're recording it because it's going to be a gooder. We are October the 19th today. We are October 19th. I want to do some shout outs first and foremost. So I would love to recognize anyone who earned, and like, I want you to recognize yourself for every level. If you earned level 1 of Q3 success sprints, I want you to wave in the camera. Can I see your hands? Level 1, good job. Even if you earned level 3, put your hands to the camera. Great job. Kate, if you earned level 2 success sprints, give us waves. Good job. If you earned level 3 success sprints, give us a wave. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Jimmy, did you earn level 4? She's like, I don't know.
I don't think so. Is there 4 levels?
I think there's 4. I was like, is there 5? Yeah, 4 is sweeping.
No, 3.
You got 3? Great job. Congratulations to everyone. Make sure that if you have earned a level, you let your upline know, because there is this weird thing that we can't actually see it. So we want to recognize you. We want your picture. So what would be really helpful, because we want to recognize you, send a picture you love to your nearest upline, who is maybe Ruby or above, and send them what level you earned and the picture that they would like to use for, yeah. Sherry, if you got people, you can send them on up. And I have templates for those, so we can put them in the leader lounge, and we want to recognize you guys. So congratulations. It does mean that we are at the very beginning of Q4. So exciting. Just so you guys know, just so you know, and this is like generosity like crazy. Henrietta has like a fur baby on her lap, and I love it. Did you guys know that you will get Success Sprints credits when your current, like your previous preferred customers who roll over into a VIP purchase a welcome pack? Did you know that? So if you have PCs that are now VIPs, if they purchase a welcome pack, you get Success Sprints credits for that. How awesome is that? So it's great to go back to anybody, even who maybe has stopped purchasing. Maybe it's been a long time. You can say, hey, you can take advantage of our VIP program because you are a preferred customer. You can purchase one of the welcome packs. It's really exciting. They're such a great deal. Such a great deal. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. All right. So that we can get her to stop being nervous, we are actually going to have a testimony. I'm so excited. Nicole Crawford is going to tell us her story. Sherry had deer in the headlights look. She's like, why am I nervous? I'm talking too. Am I supposed to be nervous? I'm not sure. So this just goes along with last week we heard from Carrie Clausen. Guys, I'm sorry. You're hearing from the OGs. My son told me that means original gang, but I think that's okay with me. Maybe it's the original grow, not the original gang, the OG, the originals. I don't know. Anyway, maybe he's wrong. But I realized that some of these people have amazing stories. And the other thing too is they've been on the products for a long time. They don't just poof and stop working. Sometimes we have to take time to adjust. Sometimes we have new stressors that come up. Sometimes we have new things that are introduced into our lives. And so these people that you're going to hear from in the next couple of weeks and from last week and now have been faithful Plexus users for probably 4 years. Nikki, am I right? Are we at 4 years yet? Ish, yeah. So I want you guys to hear her story because I actually was sitting beside a lady tonight at the swimming pool and I told her Nikki's story because it was on my mind that she was going to be sharing tonight. And I remembered and I was like, oh, this is why I do what I do, is because like stories like this. And I told her about Nikki's story. So I hope that these will stick in your mind so that the next time you're talking to somebody, you will have stories to share. And we are all connected so much further when we understand and empathize with where we've come from. So Nikki, would you unmute and tell us where you came from?
All
We want to
right.
hear the good, bad, and the ugly, babe.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, yeah. So prior to Plexus, I had been struggling with really bad anxiety for about 4 years. It crept in after a health scare that I had with my second miscarriage. And it was shortly after that I had my first full-blown anxiety attack. And I just started to live in this space of just extreme anxiousness and just extreme fear that something bad was going to happen to me. Yeah, and through those years, like I had a few pregnancies, I was raising babies, toddlers. So I had like 3 ready-made excuses for when I just felt like I couldn't go out into the world and fake it. It was very easy to say, you know, this baby didn't sleep, this one has a fever. And so I kind of hid the reality of it for quite a while from, you know, everyone, including my husband. He knew I had anxiety because I would say like, oh, my anxiety is really bad today. I just feel like on edge and my heart's just beating fast, but I just kind of kept it there. I had a lot of shame and guilt wrapped up in my anxiety. And so I didn't want people to know about it. And he works away more than he's home. And when he would come home, it was kind of like I got a week where I got a little bit of relief from it because I felt like if something did happen to me, at least he was there to keep the kids safe. So he didn't see the like spiraling, the anxiety attacks and the panic attacks, but he got the really temperamental, fly off the handle very quickly, emotional roller coaster, irritable, on edge Nikki. That's what he kind of got through those years. Yeah, and so it was really bad. Like I was here physically every day, but I wasn't present. I was always like a million miles away in those terrifying thoughts that just never seemed to let up. It got to a point where I couldn't take my kids out for walks or to parks. I was just so scared that something bad would happen when we were out, and then what would happen to my kids. And so I stopped being able to do those things. Sometimes I didn't leave the house for days or weeks because I was so scared that something would happen while I was driving to town. I was scared to go to sleep at night because I was scared I wouldn't wake up in the morning, and I woke up every morning scared that it was going to be my last day. I got to a point where it was so hard for me to be around other people other than like my closest friends and family. That was like terrifying to me. I avoided any type of small talk and talking to strangers. If I had to be somewhere where there was just a couple people I didn't know, it was like just so horrible for me. So yeah, I was a bit of a mess. let's see. So when Taven, that's my youngest, she's 5 now. When she was about 10 months old, I had another really scary episode with my anxiety. I remember standing at the stove cooking supper. And anyways, after that, I was just like, okay, I can't, like, I'm just struggling so bad. I need some help. So I did go to my doctor and I went on medication, and I was on it for about 8 months, and I had went from the lowest dose to the highest dose. And that's when I started researching more natural ways to combat anxiety. And I had a lot of other health issues I had been struggling with for quite a while too. I had really bad IBS and food sensitivities, and that got so bad. Like, I just got to a point where I just didn't know what was going to set my tummy off or when it was going to set my tummy off. I have like countless close call stories that are just horrible. It just was such a bad time. I was going to say crappy time, pun intended. And yeah, so if I had to leave my house, I wouldn't eat, or I would pop like Imodium or some of those types of over-the-counter meds to like back myself up. What else? I had super ferocious, irregular monthly cycles, a lot of pain, very heavy, lasted really long. I had really bad eczema on my hands, my wrists, like my arms here and my elbows. What else was I dealing with? Just lots of tummy and abdominal pain and discomfort and the cramping, gas, bloating, all of that stuff. I didn't sleep very good. I woke up, I was just always tired, always exhausted. And I had like really horrible afternoon crashes that I would be like crying, just thinking like, oh, how am I going to get through the rest of this day and everything I still need to do, you know, the bedtimes, the cleanup, the supper, all of that. And really, really, really bad sugar cravings. So yeah, it was around that time in researching more natural ways to kind of help with my huge list of health issues that me and Amanda connected again. And I don't recall if she reached out to me or if I reached out to her, but either way, we started chatting again. And I just like, okay, it sounded like exactly what I had been looking for. Like, I wanted to jump in right away, but I know I had a hard time spending money on myself. Like, I would feel bad if my like shampoo, conditioner, and mascara ran out at the same time. And I've been a stay-at-home mom for a while, so I really felt bad spending money on myself. So even though I want to jump right in, I'm just like, ugh, I don't know if I want to mention that to my husband. And so I didn't, and I kept struggling, really struggling. And after about 8 months, I don't know, you know, we say it is all about timing. And I guess it was my timing, and I just knew, I just couldn't do it anymore. So that was the first time I actually sat down and told my husband, like, the full truth and depth of my anxiety and the thoughts I was having. And that was really hard, but it was really good. And just let him in finally to that. And so we decided, give it 6 months and see. And so I did. So I finally ordered, and when that products came from the States then, so there was a bit extra time waiting for them to get here. And so I was very hopeful, but I was also a huge skeptic. And then I think my anxiety crept in, where I just started reading anything and everything, and I couldn't take in enough info, and reading things in the group and watching videos, and just started thinking like, I know a lot of people who have complained about X, Y, and Z that I'm like learning more that gut health can help with, and started thinking like, what if we didn't have to pay for this out of our own pocket, and I could tell my husband, hey, guess what? I got it covered. And so I actually started talking to some friends and family before my products even arrived, just telling them what I have been reading about and what I'm ordering and trying, and maybe it could help them with this and this that they had complained about or whatever. And then I actually made my very first post from my very first pink drink, and just thought like, I have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm committed to trying. And so I'm going to throw it out there and just see what happens. And so, yeah, it will be 4 years. And I think like February was when I started my products. So, and all of that list of everything has gotten so much better. So yeah, that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
Was it a poof overnight thing, or like?
No,
We were all on the edge of our seats, Nick. You can't like leave us there. You got to like
Yes.
keep going.
Okay. So it was around like towards the end of 3 months that my doctor started helping me wean off of my anxiety medications. And that was a doozy. That was not fun. But yeah, I started feeling, I did feel like happier and like a weight lifting off my shoulder, whether that was in my mind or was actually something. Like within the first couple weeks, I just felt like happier, maybe a little more optimistic. I don't know. I had some good feelings going on. And then I did notice the first few things I noticed was my energy was better and I wasn't having such hard afternoon crashes anymore. And then, yeah, around towards the end of my 3rd month, being super consistent on my products and asking a million bazillion questions in my support chat every day, all day. So that was that. My eczema though, month 7, that's when that started to clear up for me. And I'm actually just having a bit of a flare up, and I haven't since like what that would be about 3 years ago that it's been cleared up for. If I'm going on 4 years here, I don't know, I'm not very good at math, but I'm having a little flare up and I'm just like, oh, this is awful. And it's just on one spot. And before it was just like my hands were covered. I couldn't even open doorknobs. I couldn't write with a pen or pencil because my eczema was so, my hands were just cracked and bleeding, inflamed and painful. So, oh yeah, and I also did lose about 20 pounds, and that was like around month 8 or so. It just seemed to fall off.
We've all seen the pictures, right? Of her
Yeah.
standing there in her cute little like sports bra and biker shorts and going, right?
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the pictures, you got to look for them. But
Yeah,
that was
'cause
like
sorry.
No,
I had that extra weight all in my tummy that I was just trying to hide. So yeah, I didn't like that. But I had so many other health issues that wasn't on my list when I was thinking about everything that I was hoping to try and find some support for. So that was kind of an added bonus, I would say, and came from the change in my cravings and eating better and way less sugar cravings and stuff like that too. So yeah.
Something I want to highlight that I remember. Now, I don't know if I was in the original support chat, but I do remember lots of questions. So now I'm like looking in the support chat to see how far it goes. But something I remember being just so huge, like to us who were walking with you, was that you actually decided to join a MOPS, like a moms of preschoolers group at the local church that you have that's by you. And not only did you decide to join, but you ended up like organizing a Christmas thing. And we were like, is this the same person?
Yeah, so it's called Mom's Morning Out, and it's at one of the churches here in town. And we just started back up. I'm on the committee meeting, or on the committee for it now. And yeah, even my husband, I remember him saying like, when I started that and we did the Christmas thing and we organized like a big freezer meal thing. And so I was with people I didn't know and stuff, right? And he too was just like, there's no way you would have done this like a year ago. And I was like, I know. And then, yeah, I was helping with that. And then now I'm on the committee, sorry. And yeah, loving that too, so.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I mean, there's so many pieces of your story that stick out in my brain. It's so multifaceted. And like, I just think about how you were suffering in such silence that the people that were closest to you did not know. And we need to remember that even though we're immersed in this Plexus culture where all of us here, even though, we have bad days or we have anxiety, we know how to use our products and we're taking it, right? This can be the group of people that we're connected with. There are so many people out there that we have no idea what they're struggling with, right? And so remember Nikki's story. When you guys go to reach out to somebody and you're not sure if you should, just picture that she is standing on the other side of that conversation, just praying for something, right? And that person may not be struggling in silence today. It could be in a year from now, right? So Thank you so much for being brave and sharing. And she was nervous to share, and I'll out her on that one too. Just because I want you guys to understand that even if we've told our stories a billion times, we can still get nervous about telling them, but they still need to be told, and they have value, and we need to hear them, and we need to keep hearing them over and over and over again, right? It's funny, I'm going through the messages, just like I'm trying to just find the top, and I found the one that Jimmy Lou was like, Nicole, do you know when Diana's sign up is going to happen? Is that today? And you were like, yep, that's going to happen tonight. And there's Diana. And there was one about Lisa, who came to a sip and share. And this here, I'll tell another tale on Nikki. She actually won once or twice. I know once for sure. I don't know if it was twice at our sip and share events that we had corporate come out and do for having the most guests come out, but she wasn't there. she wasn't there in Regina, and she had like 5 people come out. And Lisa, her friend from college, came out, and she is often here with us. And she's still working her business and all of those things. And she signed up that night, and I got to know her, and she's fantastic. And I remember messaging Nikki being like, oh my gosh, she signed up. She's like, what? I didn't even think she was going to show up. I didn't like, let alone get her to sign up. So anytime you have the opportunity to send people to a Plexus event, if you have people that you know in Texas, send them to Texas. If you have people in Maryland, send them there. If you have people in, like, it doesn't matter where these things are happening, send your people. Think about those things, because it works. It works, and it changes people's lives. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm actually going to call on Sherry. She's going to bring something that I will say is valuable. Am I allowed to say that the values exercise is valuable? So this is something that she presented at the retreat that she hosted with her team a couple weeks back, and it has just kept coming up in conversation. I know that I have been talking about it with you guys a little bit poorly because I don't have the full scope and all the words that Sherry has. Thank goodness for green researchy personalities, like hallelujah. But when Jimmy and I were talking today about what we needed to talk about on the call, she was like, we need to talk about values. And I was like, yes, we need to talk about values, because it's not just about what you value. This is foundational for absolutely everything we do. And if you want to make your business simpler, getting super clear on your values is going to do that. So Sherry, would you take it away, my friend?
Okay, well, some of the people on here were at the values exercise that we did. I think some of you have done some since then, actually. And maybe I just want to start with a little bit of preliminary, in that whether you're aware of your values or not, life is a whole lot easier when you are aligned, when what you value fits with what you do, fits with the kind of decisions that your family can make. And it's it's sort of, and maybe I'll just go into a simplistic sort of a description, but if you value family and you have to work a 70-hour week, you're going to feel internal stress. You're going to feel conflict. Life is not going to be that good. If you don't value something like competition, but you work in a sales environment that's highly competitive, you're probably not going to be happy with your job. So it's the kinds of things that we value, in addition to where we spend our time. How do you spend your day? Do you spend your day doing the kinds of things that align with your values? And when we honor our values, we have less stress. Our lives are happier, they're easier, everything flows better. But if we don't honor those values, our mental, our emotional, our physical state, everything suffers. Everything, including that gut health that we're so focused on. it all suffers. Even when we're doing the best things for it, if our values are not aligned, we are going to have struggles. Now, we tend to think of values as being pretty stable, but they can shift over time. So if you did a values exercise maybe and said, well, I know what my top 3 values are, and I did this like 5 years ago, you may find that things have shifted. And actually, we kind of hope they've shifted a bit, because we hope that you today are not exactly the same person that you were 5 years ago. We hope that we've grown. We hope that we've learned. We hope that we have developed as people. So how many of you, just show your hands, how many of you have done a values exercise for yourself in the last 6 months? 1. Jimmy Lou has. 2. Rosemary, yeah. Noelle, good. Linda hid her picture, but she did, I know. Nikki, did you put your hand up too? No?
I think Diana did, because she had,
Oh,
she would
Diana,
have had
yes.
Diana would have, yeah.
Yes. So what I find interesting is, as I do these, even if I've done it within 6 months, even if I did it only maybe 3 months or maybe even a month ago, sometimes my top values shift a little bit. And so I do have a picture. Oh, now is a picture going to show up here? How's this going to work? Can we put a picture in the chat? Can we put pictures in the chat?
I think you can do files, but I just made you a co-host so you could screen share.
Let's just screen share. That's
Do
going to
that.
be easier.
I was actually just going to message you privately and say, do you want me to go find the graphic?
Just do that. I got the graphic on my on my desktop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share. And so what I'm going to invite you to do is, even if you did this exercise, just even 2 weeks ago, I invite you to do it again. And our goal is going to be to pick the top 3. Now, it might not be as easy to pick the top 3 as you think. You probably can pick the top 10 pretty fast, but we're going to go for 3. Okay. And I will get into this whole screen sharing. Tells me starting screen share will stop other participants' computer sound share.
There you
All right,
go. You're good.
I think we're good with that.
It's done.
Okay, so now I just got to find my file. Oh my goodness. You'd think I didn't know how to run this, but maybe
First day on Zoom. First day on Zoom.
First day on Zoom. Yeah, that's probably because I got it not only, there we go. I actually probably have to make that big enough to see. First day on Zoom. Let's see if it will show a JPEG. Well, this is going to get interesting, girls. Oh, there we go. I think I got it. Alrighty. Can you see this?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to try and make it bigger. Is that better? Or did
It's
it
perfect.
change?
I can
It's
see.
good? Okay. Okay. So this is the list of values we'll work with. And the goal is to get it down to 3. So you can make notes on your journal. You can make notes. If you're in the tub, probably don't make too many notes. But other than that, you can make notes. And I'm going to give you maybe, do you think 3 minutes is enough, Janelle?
Well, that's all we're going to give them. So.
Okay. 3 minutes. I'm going to set my timer.
Awesome.
I'm going to have to read fast. We got about 15 seconds left, so. Okay. Time is up. I'm going to stop the share. Okay, how many of you got down to 3? Good job. Good job. One of the things that I often find when I do this is values that I think should be on my list sometimes are not on my list. And I shared this before, but that value of family, that's supposed to be on your list, right? But it's not on my top 3. Now, does that mean I don't value family? No, it does not. But what it does mean is that I have a different value system, and that's okay. And I have to think about that when I'm making decisions, particularly when I'm making decisions that involve family. So these are some of the things that are really, really important, because making the choice that we know is right is easier when we know our values. So I'm going to share my top 3, and if anybody else is willing to share their top 3, that would be fantastic. But my top 3 include creativity, because without creativity, I die inside. It's just who I am. I would like one of my top 3 to be courage, because I really think it matters, but it's not. I just feel like I need a lot more courage. One of my top 3 is wisdom. To me, that is a big thing and it matters. And so I make choices and decisions based on that. And anyone that knows me and knows my tendency for research and my interest in learning about things, that all aligns with that value of wisdom for me. And the third one that's on my top 3 is integrity. And I mean, you could use different words or different names, because sometimes I think that the values overlap a lot, because you and I could pick the same word, but it wouldn't necessarily have the same meaning to us. So this is something important when we're, talking to people or thinking about their values or thinking about what matters to them. Even though we use the same word, we might actually have a different angle or a different thought about that word. So Nicole, yes, don't just unmute, Nicole.
Yes.
Yes, good girl.
What would you like?
So I think you put your top ones in the chat.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about them?
I don't know. Those are just the 3 things that if I strive for anything in my day-to-day life, those are the things that are probably the most important to me. So like all kinds of ethics when it comes to like the way you treat people, the environment, all things like that. And then being kind, and how you said like, maybe it doesn't necessarily involve your family, but trying to be kind to them does. Especially when you have very irritating tiny little people around. And then organization. Anyone who knows me knows organization is like top tier. So
is it okay if I ask a question, Nicole?
sure.
So when you say organization, does that mean lack of organization is stressful?
Yeah, probably.
Or does it mean organization that doesn't meet your criteria is stressful?
It just means I need order. So like I have daily to-do lists and like cleaning schedules. And if I miss something or something gets delayed, it kind of throws off my balance. So I have to stay on top of things to keep myself on an even keel. Love lists.
That's really beautiful, Nicole, because that is so not me that we we're almost like two different planets on that. But knowing that about yourself is really, really valuable. And it's really valuable when it comes to raising your kids, the kinds of work, the kinds of activities that you like to do, how you like to plan your day, all those things. Who else would like to share, or did I scare somebody off?
Well, I'll share because, you know, if nobody else is going to, I will. And so I actually didn't totally finish this exercise when we were doing it before. So my first three are likely, now I'm not willing to put these in cement, but are likely joy, because that's me, purpose, and freedom. Now, the reason that I came up with, and purpose and freedom are very, very closely tied, because it's almost like you can't have one without the other. But I kind of approached it backwards, and I went, when I am feeling out of alignment, what are the things that are likely happening, or the biggest things that are happening in my world? And usually it's because I have a friction with purpose, or I don't have clarity of purpose. And when I lack that, it's like, oh my gosh. And it was something I was thinking about today. And purpose is like is the best word for it. It's like I'm missing clarity in this place, this place, this place, and this place. But really, when it comes down to it, it's purpose, right? What is the purpose right now? Creativity is my fourth one. And I think it's pretty well tied with wisdom. I don't know. It's so hard. I'm like, could I have like a 4.25? Like that's my 4.25 one that I need, right? But yeah, I love this exercise and how much clarity it brings.
I think I think there's a lot of value then in taking it. I mean, and we could spend all day on values things, so don't get too panicked. We're going to do some bits and pieces. But if you take those three things and say, how much time in my daily agenda do I devote to activities that are aligned with those values? And I'm just going to use Nicole as an example, because I'm pretty sure that value of organization has a significant chunk of time in her day, which makes it a very positive alignment. When I think of some of my best days, they're going to have a significant chunk of creativity or finding wisdom. So who else, in looking at their list of three and thinking about their daily agenda, can say, oh, I kind of see a little gaposis here, or, oh, that's a beautiful fit. Anybody see something that they are willing to share there? Yes, Sharon.
Sorry, I can share this part here. So it's, for me, I see a big gap. My top three values are family, health, and kindness, right? And that pretty much actually hasn't changed. But my health is like not tops, and it's killing me. It's killing me, right? And there is more that I can do. Some of it's out of my control, just with healing and recovering and everything that we went through. But there's things that are in my control that I need to figure out. And I feel guilty every moment of every day because I'm not working out right now. I am not exercising. I'm not, right? And I don't need to lose weight. That's not why I want to exercise. I just want to exercise for my health. And it's like eating at me all the time. And it's because there's a gap in my values there. So
That's a beautiful example, Sharon. Because and on from my side, yeah, health's a value, but it's not one of them top 3. And the working out thing, yeah, that either. So you know what? There's no stress over here over that. Like 0 stress. But when we have stress, it affects everything. And it affects even the joy or the good feelings we get from where we are aligned. And so it's really interesting. John Maxwell believes the secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. And he says, if you just make a few key decisions and manage them well in your daily agenda, you'll totally be successful in however you describe that. And his other comment is, you're never going to change your life until you change something you do daily. So it's an interesting thought that when we become aware that, because often we're not even aware of the gap. We're just sort of like, you know what, life's just not that good and I don't know why. And, you know, it's my husband's fault. It's the kid's fault. It's the boss, whatever. We find a way to move away from that negative feeling, instead of actually taking time to sit with it and saying, you know, maybe I got a gap going on that just doesn't feel that good. And maybe there's a way I could shift it a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of something that I could do. So I actually don't know how long Janelle was giving me, but this is kind of a good spot to kind of wrap up the idea of understanding your values and becoming aware of how your daily agenda aligns with your values. And if there's gaps, can you bring the gap together? Is there something that would make your day a more successful day for you?
I think that's awesome, Sherry. And that's like the perfect place to like flow into where I'm going next, which again, I love it when that happens. Yeah, I think that this really gives us a great starting point to continue to pursue more insight as far as why we do the things we do, what we feel, but also like when you get really in touch with where your values are, posting is easier, because if you are posting about your values, if you're talking about the things that matter the most to you, you're going to come out and come across to people as being so genuine. And it will be easy to talk forever about those things, right? And so for me, joy is like that first thing, right? And so I love, and I've said this for years, my first mission is to be a light in dark places on Facebook. If I can bring joy to people in a day, if I can make them laugh, then that to me is mission accomplished. If I can tell a story in a funny way that will elicit joy, even though, you know, maybe we're talking health and happiness, but it's told in this way, right? Sherry loves wisdom and she shares it, and it's so great. And you can tell like she's geeking out behind the screen as she's sharing the things because she is aligned, right? And we're so thankful for that alignment, because that wisdom also brings us to today. And I would bet that within your top 10, it has something, top 10, top 15, it has something to do with that would really coincide with your business, why you're doing your business, why you want to grow your business, why you want to serve others with the platform that Plexus has given us. And so we want to actually help give you guys some encouragement, help you use the tools that you already know, maybe refine the ones that you need to refine. And so I'm going to share, now I'm going to try to share my screen. We'll see if that actually works. Yes, it will. Just a second. We are going to be getting involved with, sorry, looking, why can't I see that now? Sorry, here we go. We are going to be embarking on an IPA challenge for the next 5 weeks with our extended Team Awesome sidelines. And I'm really excited about this. It is a different type of IPA challenge. If you guys did did we call it Road to Kona? Those, it's sort of like that, only we are doing things a little bit differently. We're staying with our own team, but we are doing some challenges. So let me just show you what it looks like. It is a 5-week Take Action challenge starting November 1st. There will be a buy-in, and I believe it's $10 per person to be part of this. The great thing about this, now let me just, y'all can close your eyes for a second. I'm looking for the sheet so that y'all can look and go, okay, this isn't going to be too crazy. So this is what we're following. It's not exactly done, but just so you know, it's working on your perfect 5. Okay, so a social media post or one story. 1, making 1 new contact, continuing connecting, follow up, a team chat check-in, and then you get booster points for anything that's below, and they are graduated as like they're tiered as well. So I don't have all of the details put up in a nice little package, but what I want to do is I want to read this to you, and there will be a post so that you guys don't need to take notes for all of it and go, okay, slow down, you're talking too fast. But I wanted to make sure that you guys were filled in. So join before October 25th. Again, it will get put out in either Team Awesome first, or I'll throw it in to the Leader Lounge. We are going to do this from the 1st of November until the 5th of December. You're going to fill in the sheet every day to get points. Now, there is no like, I'm sorry, you did everything on the sheet except one thing, you're done. No, you are going to decide what you're going to do. Okay, because not only are we doing this as a group, you are also going to be looking for prizes to win individually, which I'm really excited about. So there will be a weekly draw Monday, and so the sheets will be dated from Monday to Sunday. So you can get in as many points as you want to from Monday to Sunday. Now you might say, I'm never going to win anything because I can never do all of those things, and I'm sure, but I want you to stop that. Everybody has to start somewhere. Just like Sherry said, the secret to your success is found in your daily agenda. And so if you want different success than you have had or continued success, you need to look in your agenda. If you start doing these things daily, then stepping it up to the next level will be easier, and the next level will be easier, and the next level will be easier, right? So you guys are allowed to work at your own pace. You saw there's bonus points. You'll be able to see more of it. So I'm going to try to explain this as well as I can. I'm working with the other leaders in Team Awesome, Jimmy Lewis as well, and we are trying to figure out how this is all going to go together. But basically, with the weekly draws, so everyone from our team who wants to be a part of it, it doesn't matter what level you're at, will bring in $10, and that's the fee to help with prizes. Okay. Every other team is going to do that too. And so there is a massive, potentially massive honey pot that we will call it, right? If you have 20 people involved, it's $200, right? If you have 100 people, it's $1,000, right? So there will be weekly draws, and how the draws are going to work, I need to figure this out, because obviously the total pot will be divided in 5 weeks, right? So there will be an amount for every week. And then half of the pot is going to go to the 10 people with the highest personal points. So individually, you can win. But they're also going to divide the rest of it for that week amongst the team with the highest points. So if we have more than 15 people from Grow that join, we're going to make separate pods, but we'll all still be in the same chat. We're all still going to work together. We're all going to be working towards the same thing. It just, you might be from team A, you might be from team B, and your points and your points and your points. We'll all get it clear and put in print, and you guys can ask questions later. All I know is that it's going to incentivize you guys to not do 6,000 things in a day. We don't want you to send out 100 messages every day. That's not it. We want to keep this with the heart of service, right? We want to be able to grow our businesses. We want to be able to earn success sprints. And we want you guys to feel like you are getting there, that you are doing things that are amazing for your business. So I'm really excited about that. When I put the post up, you guys will just have to comment underneath it. And the e-transfers are going to be made to the virtual assistant that we are hiring to deal with all of the money stuff so that we don't have to deal with it. And then you'll have to let us know if you are in or not, and it will be fantastic. Jimmy, do you have anything that I missed from there? And if you have questions, just hold on to them, because this is like, we're like working to try to get everything figured, and not everybody is available at the same time to answer questions. So I had answered a question, or I'd asked a question in the chat before we popped in here. And hold on. I'm just checking to see. Oh, sorry. Both of the draws are month end draws. Sorry. So it's going to be, oh, that's going to be a huge amount. Wow. That'll be a crazy amount. So it's a cumulative point thing. See, shouldn't have talked. Anyway, guys, you need to do your IPA. Why not get a little bit of extra in the pot for Christmas? I'm kind of excited about that. So it's also really great to be able to see there's going to be like weekly Zooms. So we're going to have connection, and it's going to be fantastic. So really excited about that. Watch the groups for that. This Saturday is our book club. So we have 2 book clubs actually that are going on Saturday. We have our, Sherry, are we going to make it? We have our 21 Laws of Leadership that is still going on. We are in the Law of the Inner Circle. We just finished the Law of Connection, going into the Law of Inner Circle. I loved that Nikki actually joined us this last week. She was like, I don't have the book and I haven't been keeping up with everything, but I'm coming. And I was like, great. Did you learn something? Was it good? She's nodding. Yes. She's like, yes, it was good. Okay, good. Thank goodness. Whew. So I take that and realize that even if you are behind, you can come in at this point and still gain lots, right? So personal growth, you guys, is the epitome of what we do. Like, you can only go so far with your growth being where it is currently. You constantly need to be growing and learning. If you are looking and saying, you know what, I'm working, but nothing's happening. The needle isn't moving forward. I don't know what's going on. I need something different. Guys, guess what? You likely hold the key. You likely hold the key. Yes, Trisha, we are getting on updating all of the recordings in the Leader Lounge. I think this last week we just put in there, and I'm working on finding the other ones. Yeah, Sherry and I are working on it. And then after, so this is at 9 a.m. Mountain. I'm like, it's early. I think it's, no, and it's 9 a.m. Mountain. That's correct. And then we have the Greatest You, that is going to be the Plexus Book Club at 10 a.m. Mountain. So we'll go right from one to the other. It is Trent Shelton. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Love this guy. I've been following him on Instagram forever. And this is going to be one not to be missed. Invite your friends. If you think somebody would love Trent Shelton, it doesn't matter if they're doing Plexus or not. Invite them. They can come. The speakers are always so fantastic, and it doesn't matter if you haven't read the book. You just need to come and be there. Jimmy had posted a video from him today. If you guys want to go and look at her page, that's fantastic. Okay, what did I miss? I have my notes. Yeah. If you guys do not have a clear vision on how to earn your Q4 success sprints where you want to be, I want to challenge you guys to be brave. Sherry, what was that? Was that bravery or courage? It was courage that was your like number.
Courage. It's courage that I want that I don't have enough of.
Okay. Be like Sherry and want more courage. And so just go find some or put some courage in a headlock and come to your leader and say, I need help figuring out this is where I want to go with Success Sprints help. And if you are the leader who's getting somebody who's like, help, and you're like, also help, talk to your next upline and your next upline, and we will sort it out and we will get a plan for you. We all want to be in Florida if at all possible. You guys, I'm seeing pictures popping up because right now, like in 2017, we were there right now. And it was probably my favorite event ever. Leaders Retreat is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. You want to earn it, you want to be there. It's going to be great. All right. So have a wonderful, wonderful week, you guys. Keep your eyes open for those things that are coming in the Leader Lounge. And Jimmy, are you typing something? Do I need to keep talking so that you can finish typing? She's like, I'm trying to go fast. I need to, what were you going to say? You know, why don't you just unmute yourself?
So something that's not a value of mine, and that's attention to detail and not reading over things well. But what is part of my value system is that admitting when I'm wrong about something. So here it goes. When we went through all the quarter, you know, this quarter and who got what, and I said, oh yeah, 3. No, I didn't get 3. I was close to 3, but I was looking at some other numbers and I was like, oh yeah, I got 3. So only 2 people, only 2. Because I was like, how come nobody else is doing this? I'm like, I did something wrong. So anyways, so there, figuring out our value system. But yes, I do not like to, what did I say? I'm humble enough to say I screwed up.
You're good. You can still get the percussion massager. You're fine. Like,
well, that's what I thought too. I can get that. So it's like, that's 3, isn't it? But anyways, I was confused.
Awesome.
They're all different
generous.
and they're wonderful. So
they truly are. Just make sure that you guys check your emails. If you think you should have gotten one and you didn't, reach out to customer service. Really important because it's time sensitive. We need to have these things, like we need to speak for whatever we're doing by the 31st of October. We don't want anybody to go missing.
So I would like to suggest to you that even if you think you didn't win anything, go into your virtual office, go in under the awards section, look at Q3, because I'd be the girl that pays no attention, who wasn't even close, who looked after this evening's meeting started and realized, oops, I guess I better watch for an email. I know I had people on my team last quarter in the same situation. So please just go check.
Yeah, just go look. Just go look. It's not going to hurt anything. Go look. And I was going to say they've actually adjusted the credits again because, and I will say that I was, you know how I tell the story? Did I tell the story last week where I was like, I was 40 credits shy? So 1 ambassador short of the next whatever. They shook all the sand out and they found me another 20 credit or 40 credits. So I got to, or however many, I didn't see, but I got to the next level because they commissions hadn't run yet. And so once that happens, that's when you get in your retention bonus, like for your rank, if you kept it, all of those things. So just make sure, right? You could have thought that you were just right under and you could have been bumped over. So anyway, fantastic advice, ladies. Let's go check for those prizes, shall we? Anyway, you guys, we love you. We, absolutely want to run with you however you see fit this October. We would even love to challenge you this October to do something that maybe you haven't done before. And I would love to see all of us be able to celebrate together in Orlando in whatever month it is, in March. So anyway, have a great evening, guys. Take care.
Jump in the hurdles, Getting